All right. Welcome everyone to the Sagittarius Supermoon party. It is a strawberry moon. It I also want to say happy equinox. I mean, summer equinox is right around the corner. It's next week for everybody in the northern hemisphere. And I have lovely Catherine with me. She is one of the first Patreon supporters of mine, as well as Gitte, but Gitte's having a little trouble getting on. We were having issues with Zoom. It kept freezing. So I'm like, okay, we're going to try StreamYard and we're just going to record it. And that's it. We're going to do this. So, as always, I'm sure you've already got your candles lit because
Mhm.
candle fire invokes ceremony. Bring any crystals you want. If you got your rose quartz or you've got your clear quartz, any type of crystal will do. If it's one of your favorites, go for it. As well, I brought in a little incense, and I bought a whole bunch when I was in Cuenca. And this one is it's it's to remove any type of energy. So it's a removal incense that I'm using because full moons are about releasing and letting go and removing any energies that do not belong, that need to be released, that are maybe a little too heavy. And I'm just going to mute everyone here for a minute as well. And yeah, so I invite you to light an incense stick, or maybe your candle has a scent to it, or you might even want to bring in a bay leaf, which I like to use as well. I find those fun. I have a little bit of Palo Santo. Now, this will be my last stick of Palo Santo, and the reason being, um, because of our consumerism, it's quite endangered now. A lot of the trees that are used, they get cut down so then the consumer, can use them. So I'm trying to find more healthy ways of smudging and cleansing and burning and being aware of the environment and what we're doing to nature as well. So, um, anyways, that's a whole nother conversation. But we are clearing any type of negativity, any heaviness, any grief, any anger. Anger is huge in the field right now. I think of Sagittarius. I think of fire. There seems to be a collective anger or frustration in the field as well. I was feeling it for the last couple days, and so we're clearing that now. This is being cleared as we speak, and of course, only the highest and the best are allowed to come in to these spaces. That's why I always practice a protection prayer every day, and we're just going to take you through all of that right now. So get yourself comfortable because we've is this, as they say, the third time's a charm? We are here. All right. So I invite you to um, bring also a pen and paper and a vessel to burn. So we're going to write things down that we want to release, and then we're going to burn them. So that's part of it too, but safely, of course, right? Because I know that around some parts in Canada and even in the US, I'm seeing some wildfires or some fires that are happening. So we're also going to be clearing that off as well, because we don't want, um, wherever it's needed, that's what we're bringing in. If we need more love, if there's more rain that's needed for the highest and for the best. Um, and this is bringing in a paradigm shift as well. So the beginning of more dreams. I mean, last night I had quite the dream. I was in Bavaria. Now, for a minute, I'm like, Bavaria, where's that? And I'm like, I think it's in Germany. Yes, it is. So, your dreams are going to be coming true, more prophetic, more. For me, it was like clear as day. Like I was there, and then I started going through Wikipedia and finding out more about Bavaria and how ancient Bavaria is and how it kind of separated from Germany in a way. It's interesting. You might want to go check into that if that message is for you. So there's going to be major progress in love. Now, it might not be, a romantic partner love, but love for ourselves and love for the world and career. And that could be anything. Whether, you're ending a career, you want to start a career, or you're making a career out of retirement. I think we have to be aware of that as well. Just because you retire doesn't mean you stop doing things. So, what can you put your passion and purpose into? This is kind of magical energy. I felt the shift this morning. Releasing limitations, limiting thoughts, mental blocks, manifestation blocks, attachments, anxiety, old energy, outdated patterns, anything toxic, negative, and strawberry moons. I mean, I bought strawberries today. I I brought in, I needed to get some more produce, and the produce truck, I've never seen it since I've been here, was there. It was right there. I'm like, no way. So I bought strawberries. Anyways, I was like a little kid. I was just like eating them. I've eaten half the bowl already. So this is all about romance and the sweetness of life. And strawberry, this is the harvest season as well. So good fortune, big achievements, celebrations, intense healings, and past hurts. Intense healings and past hurts. Anybody want to raise their hand and let me know if they went through? I know even before this, like we meet every Saturday, we have a safe space for healers, light workers, empaths, sensitives, that we were kind of going through. I'm going to say it, we were going through a dark night of the soul together in some aspect, in some way. Um, and depending on where you are in the path, maybe you were not. That's how, not everybody goes through it together. So I think there might be some people who'd be like, no, I'm like high as a kite. And others are, I'm seeing that, that's what it is. It's a big separation. So you're either very high on life or you're going through, like, something is being brought up to the surface to be released again. So this is, we're releasing the old and we're reviving hope. We're releasing doubts and fears and worries and small-minded beliefs. Believe in yourself. Believe that the universe has your back, even if it doesn't feel or look or smell or taste like it. Magic happens when you surrender and choose faith over fear. Faith over fear. Release your resistance towards the massive changes coming into your life. I think a lot of times we're like, whoa, I'm not ready for that. It's kind of like I watched something the other day and they were going to go down this steep hill on a bicycle with no brakes, like just with total freedom. And she goes, well, what if we die? And he goes, what's the worst thing that could happen? And they went for it. I mean, and they felt so good afterwards. I guess that's what I'm saying is the first, ego's like, no. And then after you're like, wow, that was amazing. Or maybe it was a little scary, but at the same time, you felt alive. Alive. How can we feel alive? So don't shy away from change because life is an adventure. It is. You have every right to live as your most empowered self. Big picture thinking. And, Sagittarius is all about that. They're always, they're kind of like the life of the party a little bit. They're always happy go lucky. And they're always truth seeking the truth. So how can we do that? How can we do that? How can we be the truth, speak the truth, be aware of the truth in everything we see? And if somebody says something to us, we're going to say something. It could, but it has to be said. It has to be said. I've been seeing a lot of posts about people biting their tongue and feeling small and shrinking. And I'm like, heck, no. No more of that, because I even felt like I was shrinking a little bit. But I mean, where is this perception coming from? Here, not from here. Not at all. And Sagittarius all about pursuit of education and their inner guidance as well. Our perception of the world, integrating into familiar and unfamiliar surroundings. And just we can encompass the Sagittarius experience. And I do have my ascendant in Sagittarius. So I really identify with this, exploring past our comfort zones, guiding a coherent guiding philosophy, and really being embodying that knowledge, but then being experimental in our learning. So we're letting go of old ways, because we want to learn, the value of learning from direct experience. So what are we wanting to experience? I see a lot of changes, and I was reminded by Braca Goldsmith today about Atlantis. Some of us have that in our chart in our past lives. Now, why did Atlantis, why they basically destroyed themselves because they relied too much on technology. They did not honor it. They did not honor their human selves as well. So this is being brought back again because we have to remember, yes, we're moving out of the Piscean energy, that old heavy, we're rebuilding, we're building a new earth into age of Aquarius, but we have to be mindful that not all artificial intelligence, robots, it's a merge, but it's where are our boundaries in this? We cannot let everything take over. I guess that's what I'm saying about Atlantis and technology. So creating boundaries, even for myself, I will turn my phone off. If I'm not feeling something, I turn everything off. I'll go outside. I'll connect back to nature because it's every time my whole perspective, everything changes. My energy changes, everything changes. So make sure you're outside every day. But also this is interesting. The Sagittarius energy goes to extreme as well. So we got to be careful. Too much working, too much lifting, too much eating, whatever it is, we got to be careful. Try to find a balance. Like when we're tired, we're like, okay, I'm done. I carried a water jug up last week from my room. And I thought by the time I kept pushing through, and when I got to the top of the stairs, I'm like, we're not doing that again. So I guess I had asked one of the younger men to bring it up for me. I told him, I said, I'm not 20 anymore, and I'm not going to pretend I'm 20 anymore. So could you please help me? And he's like, of course. So I really appreciated me respecting, I can only do so much. Okay. And I guess that's the biggest thing is you can only do so much. You're only one person. Have love and care for yourself, especially, I mean, I'm not going to say because I'm getting older, but you may hurt yourself. And I hear of stories of people hurting themselves. Like actually a gentleman the other day, her son, he fractured his femur or something in some type of accident, but because he was in the military, he chose to push through until somebody noticed his leg when he was running was acting funny, and he said, "You need to go get that looked at." And he goes, "Oh, I thought it would just heal on its own." Whoa. So, what are the repercussions? Meaning he might not be able to have full use of his leg again because of a decision of just pushing through it. I'll heal, I'll get over it. And that it doesn't have to be physical. It could be mental, emotional, it could be everything spiritually as well. So, all right. So I just invite you to close your eyes at this time. If you can get comfortable after you're done writing or just taking this in. And yeah, if you can, just make sure, even if you're laying down, you feel like you're grounded to the earth, that you have roots that are coming out of your body. Um, I try to envision that, even before I go to bed and when I wake up in the morning, is to fully ground myself. And I just imagine that I have roots, and these roots are shooting down my legs and out my feet. And just imagine they could be roots, they could be cords, they could be anything. They could be a beautiful, sparkly rainbow cord if you want, or feathers, or it could be anything. So just this is your time. Yeah, I'm also being reminded of like vines, or how they intertwine into everything. And I'm going to play a little bit of music in the background here just because. And just imagine those roots going down into the ground, smashing through the rocks and the roots and debris and through the crystalline grid. And this is where you're going to choose your rock or crystal or object. For me, I'm choosing a strawberry because it's on my mind. I forgot how sweet and juicy and delicious they are. It's really the little things that matter. So just imagine whatever object, crystal, object, whatever it is, you're wrapping your cords around it and you're bringing it back up through your body, whether it's coming through your feet, whether it's coming through your back if you're laying down, or maybe it's coming through the center of your chest. You really can choose any point you would like for it to come in. And as it's coming up, we're clearing off anything that no longer serves you, any old fears, belief systems, energies, anything that people told you you could or couldn't do or shouldn't do. And any of those words are no longer part of your vocabulary. And as they're coming up, they're clearing off the root chakra. And then just imagine them coming up the sacral, the solar, the heart, the throat, and we're clearing as we're going along as well. Any density, any heaviness, any energy that's not ours, up into the third eye, up into the crown, and now the crown is fully expanding, fully open. We're connecting back into our divinity, to God, to our angels, to our loved ones, plugging back into source. See those roots rise right up into the sky, shooting past the stratosphere. And now you are the universe. You are part of all of this. Just imagine the feeling of that. Do you feel lighter? Do you feel brighter? Do you feel magical? Do you feel spacey, maybe airy, light? Just encompass all of that, whatever is coming in. And I want you to take a full deep breath. So breathing in. And then just letting it go. So as we're breathing in, we're pulling the energy up from the earth, all the way up out your crown. And then as we breathe out, we're pulling the divine back in. So breathing that out all the way down. We're basically merging heaven on earth. We are all of it. So just imagine those 2 points meeting at the heart center. Feeling your chest expand as you breathe in. Take a really deep breath in. And feel yourself getting larger. Your chest should be coming full out expansion, and then letting it go. We're letting it go. We're letting it go. Letting it go. And you may be floating at this time. You're feeling very ethereal, which is what is needed at this time to really raise the vibrations to the highest point possible. And know that you're fully connected, fully guided. Your aura Just imagine your aura. You can even bring your hands up and over your head, and you're smoothing out your aura, your energy field. You can feel this field around you. And we ask that our guides, angels, loved ones, and God are fully protecting us at all times. Nothing can penetrate this beautiful, energetic being that I am. I may feel things come in, but as soon as they come in, they are quickly ushered out. So it's in and it's out, but it does not penetrate. It does not stay in my field. That's theirs. This is mine. We are intertwined, yes, depending on where we are at in a symbiotic relationship with others, with family, with coworkers, with friends. But we know that we're fully protected. Just being here, anchoring into this, how can we illuminate any parts of ourselves that need to be brought forward? So just imagine there's a huge strawberry supermoon in front of you. You can imagine the color. Maybe it's pink, maybe it's white. It could be any color you want. And as it's scanning your body. What is coming forward that needs to be released? Is it lack? Is it fear? Is it scarcity? Is there an old trauma? Is there an old wound? Is there a name coming forward? Is there frustration? Is there anger? So bring that forward at this time. And we're going to let that float out past your aura. So it's almost like we've got all these little bubbles floating inside of our own field, our own aura bubble that we've created, that you can create at any time. And just imagine them all going through and leaving. And as they're leaving, they're rising up to this beautiful moon energy to be transmuted, to be taken in, to have the weights basically lifted off of you in this beautiful meditation, this visualization of your imagination. And the more times we access these parts of ourselves, the more we're fully able to do this. Now, let's say you're not getting anything. That's fine. This will come through in your dreams, in conversations, in synchronicities, in the next week, because we still have a shadow period after any full or new moon event, any planetary event. There is shadow energy, meaning it stays in your field for up to a week, depending on what needs to be released. This is a let go release, a ceremony of feeling more peaceful, feeling tranquil, feeling inspired to seek our truth and speak our truth and be the truth of who you absolutely are, which is a beautiful child of God, light worker, healer, angel. Whatever you resonate with, bring that feeling forward. Maybe you're all of that, and that's wonderful. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And I'm also being reminded, as we are very sensitive beings, that's why we're here. There are people that will be angry just because you're around, or irritated. Remember, you're doing shadow work for them. They don't realize it. Love them from a distance. Have kindness and compassion with boundaries as well. Speaking your truth as much as possible. And just remember that they're on their own journey and they don't understand. And more, really, it's an inner standing more than anything. And that's why you're here, to help people inner stand once they're ready to. So That's what empaths, old souls, and sensitives are here for, light workers, healers. That's why you're here, to do that type of work. And it may be heartbreaking when people don't appreciate you, try to take advantage of you, throw shade at you, whatever it is. That is karma. And it's being brought forward for you to look at it and go, okay, why? Why am I feeling this way around this person? What do I need to instill in me? And what kind of boundaries am I placing? I think that's the biggest piece. That's the biggest piece. This is a test. And you will pass with flying colors. You might not feel like it, but afterwards the truth will be revealed why it happened. So just take that in and take another big full breath in, and then let it go. And now take your time coming back into the room, into your body. Wiggle your toes. Maybe you want to stretch. Maybe you want to twist. Maybe you want to dance. Maybe you want to shout, whatever it is. And I'm going to open my eyes too, because I was in there. I was right in there. I'm going to invite you to, I'm going to turn the music off. I'm going to invite you to find a piece of paper, or maybe you're going to use Post-its or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. And start writing down anything that came forward, any person, a name, a feeling, whatever it is that you want to release. And we're going to put it in the fire. I've got my fire ready. Make sure we're safe in doing this. And I'm just writing out a few words here. And then you can do the words or persons or objects one by one as you put them in the fire, or you can read the whole page out loud and then throw it and burn it. It's really up to you. You can do this now. You can do this later. It doesn't have to be right now. It'll be where it's safe and where you're able to do so. I don't want anybody starting fires. All right. So I'm just, I've always been transparent in pretty much everything I do. I wrote down pride. And why is pride coming up? Because I've always been told that you have to be strong and you can't rely on anybody. I think Gitte might have an idea of what I'm talking about a little bit there, because we had a conversation about that on Saturday. So I'm burning this right now. It's being burned. There is no more pride. To be prideful, to be full of pride, is actually holding you back. It's actually you're basically saying you're weak in a sense, but you're not. If you let go of pride, you're strong is asking for help. You're strong for speaking what's going on. You're strong for reaching out to someone and saying, I'm here. What do you need? I might not know what to do, but I've said it. Because a lot of times I think when something happens, we're not sure what to do. Or who am I? What can I do? There's so many things you can do as long as you just say it. I'm also releasing fear and ego. There, again, I feel that that's in the collective field. Playing small, but I think, that's attached to many of the personalities that are in this area. I will say this, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. We tend to attract people, places, situations, areas that need the most healing. Or I'm just going to say it, narcissists, they're rampant everywhere. Psychopaths, sociopaths, they're everywhere. They're in every system you can think of, especially workplaces, school, government. And there's a lot of that going on here. So it's there's the corruption, I guess is what I'm saying. It's everything seems to be corrupt. But if you focus on yourself, you'll see that everything is where it needs to be. How can you make a difference? First of all, by focusing on yourself. I'm not saying being selfish, but if you're doing the work, everything else will it's going to move, it's going to transpire. So is there anybody here that would like to share their things they would like to release, or any feedback, any comments? If you don't, that's fine, you can wave at me. Either way, we'll keep this private for yourself.
I think for me it's too much negativity to share, so I prefer not sharing today.
Okay. Well, and you know what? Maybe just sharing that will help somebody go, yeah, me too. I'm feeling that. That's up to you. There's no such thing as too much negativity. You're speaking your truth. It's not like you're saying, well, we know what negativity is, and a lot of people will not even admit that they're being negative.
Mm-hmm.
They think it's normal. Their verbiage. This is how it is. This is how I am. Get used to it. Get over it. I don't know about you, but I've heard that quite a bit. Or there was someone that here that was interesting. I said, "Wow, you guys are changing this into a restaurant, and that's amazing." And he goes, "Well," he says, "you know, whatever you put out in the world comes back to you." As soon as he said that, I'm like, "I don't believe you." Just the way he said it, I didn't believe him.
Mm.
You know how some people say things, but they don't actually believe it? And I'm just like, "Oh, I can't believe you just said that." But that's okay. Anyways. Anyways, so if you'd like to share, Catherine, go ahead. If not, that we respect you.
I have put the name. I have put some names.
Okay, you don't have to share the name. That's fine. But
I have written 8. I have written fear, sadness, fatigue, procrastination, alcohol, drugs, indifference, perversity, narcissism, the fact that the person does not take any action, any movement, does not say anything. Yes, mutism, I think. These are the fact that the person is not honest, misunderstanding, the fact that the person is not on the same page, ego. Yes, I think I would like to release heaviness.
It's like you're carrying a lot of stuff that you don't need to carry. And I think that's why I did that aura thing. Like all the little bubbles that went out, that's not for you to keep. You may see it, or people might try to place things on you, and you're like, no, you can have it. I don't want it.
Yes, I want to. I want to fly. I want to feel light.
Yes, light. There has been a lot of heaviness. And I'm glad, I thank you for sharing that, because when you were, I was nodding my head, all of it. All of it. Like the last 2 weeks, or no, I'd say the last week has just been, do I want to say shit show? In a sense, just with everything, and not just for myself, but a lot of people I'm talking to. It's okay. This is, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. Anything that you'd like to share, Gitte?
At first, I was actually I was in and out the StreamYard also. But in the crown, I was unfolding a lotus flower.
Ooh.
I get touched by. I could feel that flower, and but when we should scan, it was devastation because of disconnection. It's, as we have talked about. I think it's the in between again. I don't know where I am. Am I there, or am I there, or who am I, or yes, all those, and the sadness about it.
Yeah.
To get stuck in the middle, so to speak, and to could move forward.
I get that.
And as you said, who am I and what can I do? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel we're
And
all
at the
going
same
through
time,
that.
a bit of yeah.
Yeah, I feel I'm even going through that. Like, when they're saying, "Oh, I don't want to change," and it's like, but the work that we're doing, or even if we're retired, or who we are, the work, ourselves first, not the other stuff, is we're all changing. But we're like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, or who I'm supposed to be, or what does this look like? It's like the new earth. Like, we're all part of this great rebuild, and we all have no idea. I just go towards, what brings you joy, like your Bella, and part of your house, the remodeling that's going on, and being outside, and it's almost like we have an identity crisis, because the ego is like, oh, I've been identified.
But oh my God, just to take a decision about what clothes to wear in the morning.
Oh,
that's insane.
I know. Or what to have for dinner. I'm like, I don't know. Can I just, like, do something else, or not think about those things? It almost, yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, or
yeah.
I
And then
I have all
have
these
intention
plans, and I end up only doing 1 or 2, and I'm like, "What the heck? I used to be able to just get 12 things done."
yes, exactly. Yeah.
And I also want to remind everyone, if you haven't, well, whoever's watching this afterwards, that these are the June cards, right? So this dream thief, it's rejection of the path of the fulfillment, the refusal of the call, and we're just talking about that. That's like the in between, meaning we have all these dreams, but we're not sure how it's going to happen, but we're also not just going for it. And then the repairing the veil, as through forgiveness. And I think there's a lot of forgiveness that's still happening for ourselves and for others, and just letting it go, because it releases us from any attachments, anything that weighs us down. And the needle and thread, I think that's, and when I see needle and thread, I'm like, okay, I haven't done sewing or anything like that in a very long time. So it also is bringing up the fact that for June, we need to learn a new skill, a new way of repairing, what's happening in the in-between, or the veil, the illusion, because it's really going to signify oneness. And I love how there's electricity running through this as well, because we're all electrical beings. And then the last card is the cosmic womb. This is all about the divine feminine, because we've been operating from the masculine way too much. Like, oh, we get pushed through it. We can do this. We got this. Like the story about the guy and his leg. I mean, that's craziness to be wounded like that, but still push through and think you're going to heal yourself. That's like us going through dark nights of the soul, or we're, doing the work, but we're not going to ask for help. Oh, I can do it. That's the ego talking. That's a masculine talking. But we actually need the softer side more than anything. So just a reminder of the cards for the month. And I love this rainbow field as well. There actually is quite a bit of pink in this. I think of the strawberries. And the cosmic womb is just the mother. How can you reparent yourself through love? And saying it's okay. Take a break. Have a little snack. Play with the kitty, or trape through the daisies, whatever it is, just to connect back to the fun of those little things that when we were a child, we would never go, oh no, I'm too old for that, or no, I don't do that. So, all right. Well, thank you so much for being here. And if you want to join our Patreon community, we also have a Soul Healers Club coming up very, very shortly, as soon as Apple and Google decide to give me the go-ahead. We're going to be live. So I'll leave all the links below. And if you'd like a personal reading or healing with myself, let me know as well. And please remember, healing begins where the ego ends. And let me be your soft landing. Love you all. We'll see you.